We are here with our first guest, Paul O'Kelly. Thanks
How
a
you
million
doing?
for
Lovely to
jumping
be
in
here.
with us. You are well. I mean, tell the good folks at home why you're here today.
Well, going back in the early 90s when Super Mario Kart was released, I used to play it quite a bit. Literally the only game I was playing for the space of 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And then I stopped playing it, and after a break of about 20 years, I went to a gaming convention
Yeah.
and just see Mario Kart there, picked up the pad, set a time, and said, okay, let's see if anybody else can beat this over the weekend. So I put a post up on Twitter with a screenshot. I didn't think any more, but nobody beat the time.
Right.
And then about 3 4 months afterwards, I got a message from the UK champion
Nice.
asking me, do I still have me Super Nintendo and would I like to join the time trial ranking site?
Okay.
So after another few weeks, I bought a SNes, bought a copy of Super Mario Kart, and started playing. Hit me first Irish record within about a week.
Wow.
About 2.5 3 months afterwards, I became the Irish champion, and then shortly afterwards, I hit all 40 out of 40 records on time trial.
Wow.
So I started realizing that I was getting progressively better and better,
Yeah.
and I realized it was the World Championship, so I said, we'll give that a go.
Nice.
So it kept me practicing and practicing all the way.
So you're Irish champion, and where are you in the world?
On the time trial rankings, I'm in and around the mid 50s on both
Okay.
PAL and
Wow.
NTSC.
Nice.
So we have the two different goals.
And speaking, I suppose, on an eSports level, if you can kind of call it that, what way is it done just by time trial? Are you actually up against different players in the same game?
Initially, what's kind of the glue with the Super Mario Kart community for the last 21 years has been the time trial site,
Okay.
where everybody just submits their times.
Yeah.
We do live game capture as well, so people can kind of watch what others are doing as
Yeah,
well
there's kind
and
of
learn.
proof there as well.
And oh yeah, proof was
Yeah.
absolute. Now until you get towards the top numbers,
Yeah.
proof isn't really overly needed. So anybody who has a Nintendo Switch at the moment can come along, set a time set, and join,
Right.
and
Okay.
then continue and improve, because the Switch and the SNES Mini are allowed now.
Wow.
Are they?
Nice.
I
Yeah.
did not know because I know that they added it recently with the
Yeah.
SNES
For
emulator
many-
style thing on the Switch.
For many years, any times had to be set on a real.
I knew that because there was regulations against emulators and the like
Yeah,
for
well
a long
now
time. because-
emulators are still not allowed, but official Nintendo hardware and official Nintendo releases are now allowed.
That's
So
understandable.
everybody can look up the site MarioKart64.com and come along and join us.
Might do that when I get home.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's a lot of fun.
But actually, on the talk of earlier, you said you took you a couple months to get the 40 out of 40 on the time
Yeah.
trial records. When I was talking to you yesterday, you said you had 39, but the last one gave you
Wasn't.
quite a bit of difficulty.
Yeah.
What was the last track, and like why did it give you so much difficulty?
Ghost Valley won because there's two different playing styles. There's MBT and non-MBT. Non-MBT is where you're not building a boost and you're not doing platform jumps and so on and so forth. So the time that was set, and it was actually set by a Cork lad, non-MBT was extremely difficult to get to, and the only way I could get it in the end was to hit a platform jump, which saved about a second, and then do 4 really solid laps.
Okay.
to get it.
No,
Now,
yeah.
I think the previous record was 107.10, which is a really, really good time. I beat it with a 106.5, and now the Irish record stands, I think it's 104.5.
My God, that's
So-
over-
In the space of time from when I started playing up until now, my combined time set is 5 minutes faster over the 40 times we combined. Nearly 5 minutes of a difference.
And the thing is, though, it doesn't sound like a lot. Like a second doesn't sound like a lot. 2 seconds doesn't sound like. But when it comes to games like Super Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing, any racing game,
Yeah.
a second is a lot of time to be, especially be shaving off.
On a track like Ghost Valley 2, a second can be the difference between maybe 100 to 150 positions on the ranking site.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we work on an average finish. So
No,
if
no,
you
no.
have a really, really bad track, it's going to affect your average finish.
Yeah.
And most of my times at the moment are between, let's say, 40s, 50s, 60s. I have a couple of outliers in around the 70s and 80s. And they're the ones I'll focus on over time to make
Bring
the
'em,
big
yeah.
gains and
Yeah.
cut my average finish down right into the top 50 by the time we come to the end of the year.
What sort of feeling is that, like hitting that, that time that you've never hit before? Is that the reason why you do it?
It's more stubbornness and perseverance at the moment.
That's pretty
Because
much any
over
world record.
over at the World Championships, I was and it's a complete difference when you look at things, when you look at people playing, you're going,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
right? And then at home, you're racing around and you're going brilliant, and then you come up against these players, and it's not the same scenario.
Yeah, it's a completely different atmosphere. And
You
everything,
realise that if you make one mistake, they're going to get you. There'll be 5-10 seconds, and you've no way back.
Yeah.
And then when they beat you, they just keep trying to beat you, even overlap you, and whack you off again. It's absolutely crazy.
So has the scene evolved massively since you started kind of setting your records to say 2019, an event like this? Have you seen like more people get interested in that competitive scene?
There's always been solid core players with Super Mario Kart, but with a number of UK players
Yeah.
that have become more active. We have Discord chat groups, WhatsApp groups as well,
Yeah.
where we're talking to each other about strategy and how we push each other on.
Yeah,
with
so it is
times.
a nice community. It's not
It's-
like
the community is
It's not
fabulous.
toxic. Like
No,
yeah,
it's different. I've been involved in other competitions where if you could give somebody a tip they wouldn't, it'd be cloak and dagger.
yeah.
People are active to go out and help people,
Okay,
give them that little bit of advice, see where they're going wrong at their times, and
that's
give
fantastic.
them that little bit of
Because it makes it easier for people that are, say, on the outside that want to get into that competitive
Exactly.
scene to jump into it and have that community straight away. I mean, we're built on our community, and toxicity is something that we have no time for.
Exactly.
And because we stamp it out from the start, we do create that place where people can come talk about video games, have this podcast every week that people can jump on, ask questions. So I personally think it's always good to have a community that is
Yeah.
is together. Like even with a competitive scene like
Exactly.
you're in, it's
Now our focus in our group is all geared towards next August for the next World Championship.
okay.
So we'll be doing online because Switch Online.
Yeah.
We can do online battle mode and match race, and we also use RetroArch Netplay
Yeah.
that we can.
Yeah, so
battle
speak
on the
about
pad.
the World Championship. Is that an event in one place or?
For the World Championship is being held now. It's been 10 years as a World Championship. It
Okay.
started off initially as the French Championship.
Yeah.
It was a group of French players back in 2002. I think it was going towards 2004, 2005. Some players from Europe started to join. So then it became a European Championship.
Wow.
And then players started joining from America, Japan, and Australia.
Nice.
So then it became the World Championship.
Yeah, yeah, that's brilliant.
So it's held, for years it was always held predominantly in France. But last year it was held for the first time out of France in Holland in a place called Alphen aan der Rijn.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed it so much they decided we'll go back again this year.
Yeah.
So it takes place over 4 days and each day is dedicated to a specific mode.
Yeah.
So we started off this year with time trial, which I finished 24th in. I had a bit of a mixed bag. I should have been capable of making top 16, but just too many mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we still decent enough. Battle mode I made playoffs. A playoff for the top 16. We called them barrage matches.
Right.
And that took up the whole day from about 11 o'clock in the morning and didn't finish till about 11:30 that night.
Wow. It's a long day.
And then the last 2 days were match race and Grand Prix.
Did you enter them all?
I entered everything.
That's brilliant.
Entered absolutely everything. And same again next year. What I'm planning to do towards the end of this year is I'll switch away from the time trial a little bit. I'll still do some to keep me practice.
Yeah.
But I'll start practicing the GP and match race
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
We've got time trial ranking sites for the Grand Prix as well,
Right.
where you can submit those times, which is very, very handy. But as I said, everything is focused towards next year.
Do you have an Irish team that go over to these events?
This is what I'm hoping. I was the first Irish player to be at the World Championships,
Okay.
and I'm hoping to build for 2020 a group of players who will be interested in meeting up, let's say once a month,
Yeah.
in a venue, have a few games,
Right.
practice, give each other help and advice
Yeah.
when needed, and hopefully get a couple of people to come over as an Irish team
That's
to
great.
Alphen next year.
That's brilliant.
Just on the mentality of it, you were saying that you made like a few mistakes that got you to 24th. Is there times when you're actually playing and you do make a mistake and you focus on it so much that other mistakes follow it?
That can happen. You can kind of go what they call in poker a tilt kind of a moment.
Yeah.
But what mainly happened to me was my timing was slightly off on a couple of the tracks. And the biggest mistake I made was I was thinking by maybe 15 tracks in, I'm done, I'm toast, I have no chance of making the top 16. So let's go down in the blaze of glory. And I went for literally everything on the Special Cup. right?
Oh.
Which is which I was just going complete balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Because I was saying if I can get maybe a top 5 time at the championships or something like that, or even PR and one of them, it would be a moment. But I shouldn't have actually done that. I should have kept nice and calm, done my normal one try strategy, and I would have finished probably near the top 16. But it would have helped me average.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
I would
massive
go wrong.
strategy that goes into every race. If you're behind, you know what you have to do.
Yeah,
If
every
you're...
race, every battle, every moment in time trial, I try to plan out.
Yeah.
And then when that plan gets thrown out the window, have another plan in place.
As a kind of a competitive player, how often would you play? Daily?
Every day.
Every day? For
Every
how long?
day, at least 3, maybe 4 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Now I'll reduce the amount of playtime when I'm going to do the Grand Prix match race.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be as intensive with improvements.
Right.
It's more just pick something, focus on it, practice it until I can get it right.
Yeah.
The likes of the big long better shortcuts or long boosting. It's a trick that once you learn this trick, you'll be able to replicate it over and over and over again. But it's literally having it so you're bulletproof on it.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like kind of any sport. Do you know what I mean? You're practicing over and over again that it becomes muscle memory.
Yeah.
Speak about your controller that you carry around with you.
Yeah.
You know you mean business when you have a controller with you.
Yeah, well,
And normally wrapped to be raced. It's actually, this is a modified Famicom controller. What I done was I changed the wire for the longer one from the PAL.
Yeah.
It's Famicom, so a bit longer. And then I swapped out the D-pad.
Okay.
Right, now I actually brought a D-pad in here.
It's got a little nub on the bottom of
See
it.
the little nub? There's this tiny little nub just on the D-pad there that's kind of raised up.
Okay.
What we do is we just shave that down completely.
Right.
Because it helps
So
with
that-
being able to go left and right a bit quicker than instead of the
with
couple of
that-
seconds that you have kind of, because typically when you're doing left and right, you kind of have that small little delay in it.
And if that delay goes for 1 frame, even 1 frame missed, the boost won't work.
Okay. Wow.
It's mad how much detail goes into it.
That
Isn't it?
tiny little thing makes all the difference in it. And what I'll do with my pad every couple of weeks or so, I'll strip it apart. All contacts will be given a go over with alcohol wipe. And if I need to swap out the R button, which is a very thin bit of plastic where there's pivots on,
Yeah.
and sometimes that can kind of crack.
How long have you had that pad for?
I've had that pad since I started playing.
Okay, so it's your lucky pad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually got about 7 pads at the moment.
Okay. We just seem to be having a few connection issues, but what we'll do is, where can the good folks find you if they want to kind of get in contact with you to
If
maybe
they want
join
to get in
the
contact with me,
community?
they can find me on Twitter at Sparks41.
Okay.
Or, sorry, Sparks F1, not 41.
F1, that's okay.
F1. And our site is on MarioKart64.com /SMK.
Deadly.
And that will bring you to the main SMK page.
Yeah.
There's regular news updates that will be on the homepage, joining info, how to submit your records.
Yeah.
They need to be emailed to the UK champion, who has done a fabulous job for 21 years running the site.
Wow, he's on it a long time, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
But it's definitely, with the Switch being there now and only costing €20 for the year for the online membership
Yeah.
and having access, it's well worth getting involved.
That's after opening up big time for...
Yeah, it's after opening up for even building an Irish community here from players all over Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have the Switch, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the true way to play is to get a real SNES.
Yeah.
The one thing I do want to say is if you play on the Switch, it's NTSC times because it's the NTSC version of the game.
Okay.
It's not the PAL game.
Okay.
Right, so the only way to submit PAL times is with a real SNES at the moment.